Hello everybody, it is me, mr.slowking 64 here, back at it again for my 1,000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers, I can't believe we did it. You guys have asked so many questions and I'm so excited to answer them, so let's get right into it. Who is my favorite creator in the Thomas fandom? None other than TARDIS Rescue. His writing style is so similar to Audrey's, and he's the only person I feel can truly capture what makes Thomas and the Railway series style of writing so special. 3 favorite characters in each gauge of engine. So there's 4 gauges on Sodor, so for standard gauge, my favorites are, in this order, James, Bear, and Duck. Narrow gauge, Peter Sam, Duke, and Duncan. On the Culdee Fell, my favorites are Culdee, Godred, and Patrick. And for the miniature engines, that is Bert, Frank, and Mike. My favorite Railway series story is kind of a tie between the Fat Controller's engines and Super Rescue. Both are very good in their own means, but I'm gonna have to go with the Fat Controller's engines, due mostly to nostalgia and the fact that it was read to me as a little boy and it's always been my favorite.
Am I a Neville stan? Not really. Neville is probably one of my favorite hit era newbies, but I wouldn't stan him. Which is better in my opinion, Wooden Railway or Take and Play? Well, that would be a very simple answer. I believe Take and Play is far superior. Wooden Railway stinky!
What got me into trains? Well, it's always sort of been a mystery to me. From the time I was about 2 years old, I was watching Thomas, so I don't know if that helps, but it's mostly been in my later life that I've gotten really into them. Of all the models you own, which would you be most likely to accidentally flush down the toilet? That's pretty easy. Trapmaster 2 Thomas. Trapmaster 2, more like Trackmaster Poo.
Favorite Thomas character? Well, that's very easy. It's James.
Favorite song? Probably Come for the Ride or the Island Song. However, whenever I try and listen to the Island Song, I always end up crying. And my favorite episode is Thomas and the Special Letter. It's the one I remember watching first, and it was my first VHS tape, which is now one of my most prized possessions.
Which of your Ertl customs is your favorite and why? That's sort of a tricky question as I've made so many over the years, but I think I'd have to go with my custom green Ertl bear. It was a custom I've been planning to make since I bought my first Ertl bear, but due to it being new in box and me not wanting to ruin the paint of it, I had to wait till I could buy another one, and it just so happened that one showed up for cheap, and now he's green.
If there were 5 items you'd pick from your collection, what would they be? Well, that's pretty simple. Number 1, green Ertl bear, for obvious reasons. Number 2, a silly truck that I bought from Derailed Productions when I met him in person. Number 3 is my Angry Playrail Thomas that I got straight from Japan. It's been an item that I wanted since I was really little when I first watched Thomas Blows His Stack, which is probably my favorite Thomas fan film. Number 4 would have to be my custom Railway series Bachmann Percy that I made from, well, take a guess, a Bachmann Percy. And number 5 would be my Thomas the Tank Engine, the Complete Collection book, as it contains all 26 of Audrey's books. And you know me, the Railway series is kind of my thing. Question number 2, what's my most recent custom? Well, that would be none other than Stanley from Mid-Sodor, made out of a Ertl Duncan, with extended side tanks and an extended front, and those wheels were a pain in the ass to add.
And lastly, what will I do at 2,000 subscribers? Well, I'll either probably make another Q&A, or I'll do some sort of collection update. Probably the entirety of my collection, so it would probably be like an hour-and-a-half long video. How did you get into Thomas? From about the time I was 2 years old is when I can first remember watching Thomas. As I previously stated, I started watching around season 10, so that was like 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. And ever since then, I was kind of hooked. I got my first Thomas toy, which was a wooden railway Percy, 2003 one, mind you, for Christmas in 2008. So I would have been, I think, just almost 3 then. These next two questions actually kind of go together in a way. What other ideas do I have for YouTube content? And can I do showcases on my Ertl customs? If you follow me on my socials, mainly Twitter or Instagram, you would have seen I've been working on a new series, Slowking's Custom Creations, where I'm going to be going through each kind of set of my customs and going through how I made them and such, if I have the information. Some of them are just simple repaints, some of them are completely custom. I plan on covering almost every custom I've ever made. Episode 1 will obviously be about Thomas, and it'll include how I made him, and his flat running board variant, and all of his faces that I've made for him. And with that, we've come to the end of my 1,000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you everyone for your questions. I'm sorry I couldn't get to every single one of them, but I appreciate them nonetheless. So stay tuned for new content, and thank you for joining me. This is Mr. Slowking 64 signing off. Peace.